Hey, Raider Nation. Buckle up because something massive might be headed to Las Vegas, and you need to hear this right now. I've got the inside scoop on a potential game changer for the Las Vegas Raiders, an explosive duo that could light up Chip Kelly's offense in ways we've only dreamed of. Trust me, no one else is talking about this yet, and it's too big to ignore. If you bleed silver and black like I do, you're going to want to stick around for this one. This last-minute update could flip the script for our Raiders in 2025, and I'm buzzing just thinking about it. So, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive into this together because this is for the true fans of the Las Vegas Raiders. Picture this, Raider Nation. A franchise quarterback dropping dimes and a wide receiver burning defenses, both rocking the Raiders' iconic silver and black next season. Could this be the spark we've been waiting for since the move to Vegas? I'm talking about a duo that could turn our offense into a highlight reel every Sunday. But here's the kicker. Will it actually happen? Are the Las Vegas Raiders about to pull off something legendary, or is this just another offseason tease? If you're as hyped as I am, let's break it down step by step and see where this wild ride takes us. Ready? Let's roll. All right, Raider Nation, the offseason is heating up for our Las Vegas Raiders. And it's about time we got some good news. After a rough stretch, we all know the offense needs a serious jolt, especially at quarterback. With Chip Kelly calling the shots now, 2025 is shaping up to be a make-or-break year for this team. The buzz around Vegas is electric, and the Raiders are laser-focused on fixing things with their 6th overall pick in the NFL Draft. It's not just about patching holes. It's about building something epic. So, grab your silver and black gear, because we're about to unpack the plan that could change everything for the Las Vegas Raiders. So what's the strategy, fam? The Las Vegas Raiders are on a mission to land a quarterback who can carry this franchise into the future. There's talk of swinging a trade for a veteran like Matthew Stafford. Imagine that guy slinging it in Allegiant Stadium. But the real juice is in the draft, where the Raiders are poised to strike with that juicy 6th pick. Chip Kelly's offense thrives on creativity and big plays, and the front office knows it. They're not just looking for a stopgap, they want a cornerstone. Whether it's a trade or a draft steal, the Raiders are cooking something up, and I'm here to spill all the details for Raider Nation. Here's where it gets tricky, Raider Nation. The top quarterback prospects in 2025 are absolute studs, but we might be on the outside looking in. Guys like Cam Ward from Miami and Shedeur Sanders from Colorado are lighting up mock drafts. But teams ahead of us like the Titans, Browns, and Giants are starving for QB2. We're sitting at pick 6, and that's a nail-biter. But hold up, Sporting News analyst Vinny dropped a bombshell. He thinks Shedeur Sanders could slide right into our lap. Could the football gods finally bless the Las Vegas Raiders? I'm crossing my fingers, Raider Nation, because this could be the moment we've been praying for. Let me paint the picture for you. Shedeur Sanders is a baller, plain and simple. In 2024, this dude threw for over 4,000 yards and 35 touchdowns at Colorado, even with an O-line that couldn't block a paper bag. He's got ice in his veins and a cannon for an arm perfect for leading the Raiders into battle. Imagine Shedeur stepping into Allegiant Stadium. Cool as ever, dissecting defenses with Chip Kelly's playbook in his hands. This guy's pocket presence and pinpoint accuracy could make him the long-term answer we've been craving. Raider Nation, are you feeling this hype yet? But wait, there's more, Raider Nation. If we snag Shedeur at pick 6, the Raiders still have their 2nd-round pick number 37 to play with. Word on the street is they're eyeing a wide receiver pair with him, and the name floating around is Matthew Golden from Texas. This could be the 1-2 punch we need. I'm getting chills just thinking about it. A young QB and a dynamic receiver growing together in silver and black. The Las Vegas Raiders could be building a foundation for years to come, and I'm dying to tell you why Golden fits the bill. Let's keep this train rolling. Matthew Golden is a straight-up playmaker, Raider Nation. In 2024, he racked up over 800 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns for the Texas Longhorns, showing off speed that leaves corners in the dust. This guy's a threat every time he touches the ball, short passes, deep bombs, you name it. What makes him special? He's got that after-the-catch magic, turning 5-yard gains into house calls. The Raiders need a true WR1 to stretch the field, and Golden could be the missing piece in Chip Kelly's high-octane offense. Can you see it, fam? Now let's dream big. Shedeur Sanders dropping lasers to Matthew Golden streaking down the sideline in Las Vegas Raiders jerseys. That's the kind of connection that could turn games into blowouts and keep Raider Nation roaring all season long. A QB with elite vision and a receiver who's a nightmare to tackle? Yes, please. This duo could grow into something unstoppable, feeding off each other's energy and talent. With Chip Kelly pulling the strings, the Las Vegas Raiders might finally have an offense that strikes fear into the AFC West. Tell me that doesn't get your blood pumping. And here's the best part. Raider Nation, we're not starting from scratch. We've already got Brock Bowers, the freak show tight end who hauled in 900 yards as a rookie in 2024. Pair him with Jakobi Meyers, our steady-handed wideout with over 700 yards last year, and the Raiders have a solid core to build around. Then there's Davante Adams, the superstar we nabbed in 2024, still tearing it up. But we need that extra spark. A true WR1 take the pressure off and Golden could slot right in. The Las Vegas Raiders are stacking talent, and I'm loving every second of it. Chip Kelly's system is all about speed and mismatches, and this duo could take it to another level. Shedeur Sanders running the show with poise, hitting Golden on deep routes while Bowers and Myers eat up the underneath stuff? That's a recipe for fireworks every Sunday at Allegiant Stadium. Defenses would be scrambling. Raider Nation, no one could key in on just one guy. The Las Vegas Raiders could go from offensive question mark to AFC contender overnight. I'm telling you, this is the kind of vision that gets me out of bed in the morning. But here's the reality check. Fam, nothing's set in stone. If Shedeur gets snatched before pick 6, this whole dream crumbles, and we're back to square one. There's also the Stafford rumor. Could the Raiders pivot to a vet instead of rolling the dice in the draft? It's a roller coaster, and I'm strapped in for the ride. I checked the latest from Raiders News and the Las Vegas Raiders official site, but it's all speculation for now. If anything breaks, I'll be back fast and you can say, just win, baby. Stay tuned, because Raider Nation deserves the truth. All right, Raider Nation, I need your take. Can Shedeur and Golden turn Chip Kelly's offense into a juggernaut? Or do you think the Raiders should go a different route, like trading for Stafford or grabbing someone else in the draft? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading every single one and shouting out the best ones. This is our team, our passion, so let's talk it out. What's your dream scenario for the Las Vegas Raiders in 2025? Hit me with your wildest predictions, because I know Raider Nation's got the best fans in the game. Don't go anywhere, fam, because the Las Vegas Raiders news never stops flowing. The second I get fresh intel on the draft, trades, or anything silver and black, I'm jumping back on here to break it down with you. This is our journey together, Raider Nation, and I'm all in. Whether it's a blockbuster move or a draft steal, I'll keep you posted with the latest from the Raiders front office. We're building something special in Vegas, and I can't wait to see where the season takes us. Who else with me? That's it for now, Raider Nation. If you love the scoop, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this silver and black family. Hit the bell so you never miss an update, because the Las Vegas Raiders are about to make waves, and we're riding every moment together. Share this with your crew. Spread the word, and let's get hyped for 2025. The Raiders are coming, and we're not backing down. Until next time, keep the faith, just win, baby.
Back in Indy with Tom Pelissero from NFL Network. And Tom, we heard yesterday, we heard from Pete Carroll, we heard from John Spytek. First combine for them in charge of the silver and black. Just kind of what's your general take been around the league on the reception of those guys coming in and doing their thing?
I think Pete Carroll's a known commodity. I think that's where you start. He's won a ton of games in this league. His entire time in Seattle, I think he had a grand total of 2 games where the Seahawks were eliminated from playoff contention. So you know that means year in and year out, you're there at the end. He won a Super Bowl. He went to the playoffs a bunch of times. And now he's taken over another organization that, probably just from an overall talent standpoint and where they are, it's in a similar spot to what Seattle was back in 2009. So there's a lot of work to do on the roster. That's where John Spytek comes in. Obviously, he's got a long track record within the league, including recently with Tampa, which has been one of the most consistent programs out there. And I think that everybody's waiting to see how do the Raiders approach this thing? I mean, you've got a couple of building block pieces. Obviously, Brock Bowers is a huge one. Max Crosby as well. There's going to be some questions in terms of the long-term future. Spytek said yesterday, I envision him being a Raider for a long time, but the contract's going to need to be addressed at some point here. And you got to be weighing all these different things out. You need a quarterback. You need talent at virtually every other position on the roster. What's the best way to utilize the resources that you have, beginning with potential trades and beginning with, your high draft pick this year?
Speaking of those resources a little bit, I think one thing that really stood out to us as we were listening to both John and Pete yesterday was the Tom Brady effect to all of this, and Tom being a sounding board for a lot of these decisions that'll be coming in the next couple months. Like, how valuable is it to have a guy like Tom, who's not only part of the ownership group now, but has won and has done it at the highest level and is the GOAT in so many ways?
Well, I'll tell you, Tom Brady makes people consider things that they otherwise wouldn't consider. I mean, I go back, obviously, Ben Johnson ends up going to the Bears. Ben Johnson was never going to consider the Raiders but for Tom Brady making a push, and he really gave it hard thought. I mean, Tom is just such a unique person, 7-time Super Bowl winner, arguably the greatest of all time, a future Hall of Famer. To have him in the building, figuratively and literally, I know that he spends a lot of time in Florida, he's got the Fox gigs and he's traveling around, but just having him be a part of the program, it just lends a different type of a credibility. And I think that's probably the buzzword that I'll continue to use moving forward here, which is Tom Brady as well as Pete Carroll. You've got the instant credibility of two guys who we know they've been a part of winning programs. They know how to build this thing. Tom's in a different role now. I mean, he's involved in every single aspect of it. Go back to what Mark Davis said when the minority ownership was approved, saying that Tom, can maybe help us find that quarterback and train him too. I mean, there's no other minority owner on earth like that. And so, Tom being a part of this thing is definitely a benefit to the Raiders. What's that going to mean in the big scope of things? Not just the recruiting of the head coach or recruiting of a few players or whatever it might be. It's what about the overall culture? Where does he spend his time? How does the overall interaction go? I know this. Him and John Spytek obviously have a long relationship going back to Michigan. Pete competed against Tom, including in a Super Bowl that Pete would probably prefer to forget. And those are important relationships as they try to get this thing going in a really tough division where you're going to need that credibility to convince players, hey, come here and be a part of something, even if it might take us a little bit to build it.
Tom, before we let you go, I'm just curious this time of year, especially this week in Indy, what's like the tastiest morsel, the tastiest rumor, something that is intriguing you as we percolate through the NFL media cycle here?
I mean, listen, there's a ton of quarterback movement that's going to happen. If you look at it on paper, there's 9 or 10 teams that clearly need a starting quarterback. There's probably a half dozen more teams that need either a top backup or somebody to compete to start. That's half the league is looking for a quarterback. The Raiders are certainly high on that list. It starts here with, Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. Does somebody else pop up into maybe the QB2 role? Does Quinn Ewers make a push? Does Jackson Dart make a push? In other words, do one of these quarterbacks that we're not talking about being a high first-round pick maybe make their case through the process here, and a team like the Raiders might be in that mix? But it's also the reality that realistically from this draft, and I haven't done my full deep dive into the quarterbacks yet, but just my casual conversations with people, there's not, 5 different quarterbacks. It's not like last year we had 6 quarterbacks, so it's like all these guys could start, sooner than later. This is much more, you might get 1 or 2. Well, where are all these other quarterbacks coming from? Sam Darnold might get franchise tagged. We'll see how that plays out in the next 6 days. You've got Justin Fields. You've got Russell Wilson. Then you got a bunch of question marks, all of which leads me to the potential trades. Obviously, the Raiders have been linked to Matthew Stafford. There's certainly an interest level there, but they're going to examine all the various options that are available out there. So I would say in terms of just like the tastiest rumor, I would just say the fact that we're talking about somebody like Matthew Stafford, who is 37 years old, but he was part of a division winner last year. He's still performing at a high level. The Rams, based on all their public comments, still want him to come back, but there's a discrepancy over money. That's a guy that doesn't often become available under these circumstances, and it might be the first big domino to fall in this whole thing.
Yeah, and it's an exciting time of the year. Tom Pelissero, appreciate you. We'll be watching and listening. I promise you that.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man.